Hey guys, how's it going? It's Kaeyoh from Tempo Storm, and today I wanted to make a video talking about Tassadar, who's recently popped back up into the top of the meta as a almost first pick, first ban tier character. And I wanted to give you guys a few of my thoughts on Tassadar, why he's good, why you should play him, and kind of like what made him so much better. So I wanted to just bring up the patch notes here just to refresh anybody who hasn't really seen or remembers the actual numbers on Tassadar's changes. But what they did is they reworked his shield a little bit so that the scaling is the base and scaling got nerfed just a little bit, but they added this the fact that now the shield amount is increased by 50% on other allied heroes. So it's a little confusing in the numbers, but like basically the numbers are like the same when it comes to casting it on heroes. What they did do though is they almost halved the cooldown, and they also gave it a slight mana decrease. So basically, like, this doesn't look like a huge change, but the real big key part of this is the fact that it's a 5-second shield now. And the fact that the shield lasts for 5 seconds means that you're keeping a constant damage buffer on like your most priority target or whatever, who you need to keep alive in fights. One of the more popular comps that are being run nowadays are the bruiser comps, or either that or like the triple range, where you really need to keep some key targets alive, like Jaina, Sonya, Illidan, and Tassadar works extremely well in those comps. You can run him, you know, with another true support, so that you have a lot of healing and you have the damage mitigation from the plasma shields constantly going out. Also, he's a target that, while he doesn't have a huge amount of mobility, he's like nearly unkillable once you get the 13 and 16 E talents. So that makes him somebody you can't reliably put pressure on or take out of a fight. That means not only does he constantly offer the utility of the vision, the shields, and the pressure from damage, but you can't really kill him either, so you can't just like choose to go on him. He doesn't have to worry about positioning. He can just kind of YOLO in there and do what he wants. So and an actual example of a team fighting game I have here, this is from the HTC tournament. We were playing against Cognitive. This is just a quick little clip, but I think it at least shows a little bit of why Tassadar is so strong. If you look at where we're at in the game, pretty much basically even levels and everything. Johanna's about to rotate down from top, and she'll be here. But right now, this is a 4 vs 4. We just got some good damage on Iacona, fighting over this bottom shrine, but he's just gone and tapped, so he's doing okay. And these guys are rotating down from mid right now. But I just want to show you, if you keep an eye on Zuna, on Jaina here. Jaina in this situation is what I was talking about, that priority target. In this particular example, Zuna is exactly that. He's who Cog needs to kill in team fights, and you know, it's going to take the most pressure off of their team, because I don't do much and they can't reliably kill me. Soldier's just on Muradin, they're not going to go for him first. And, you know, Monk is just going to do Monk things and dash away as soon as you go on him. So, here we go. So, Iacona's kind of moving up here. He knows the rest of his team's rotating in, so he's tapped the well. His team's full. His team's ready to fight. Immediately, I've got that pre-shield on Zuna. And you can see, you know, just how much of a shield that actually is. It's pretty ridiculous. So Glaurung's immediately going to try to put some pressure on Zuna here, which he does, hitting us with the dash. He still hasn't even broken the shield, so Zuna's in such a comfortable place. And by this point, I already have the shield off cooldown again. I can cast it right back on him. So you can see, like, Zuna hasn't actually been touched in this fight yet. The gravity lapse just barely misses. Like I said, that shield's already off cooldown. I don't think it would have been that much of an issue to keep him up. I think if they would have chained all their stuns together, they might have gotten the kill on him, but it would have been close either way. So the shield helps him just take that early damage. Glaurung can't really just get that harass off on Zuna. And immediately, now Glaurung's getting in an aggressive position here. Here comes the stuns. This is the second attempt now to blow up on Zuna. The stun misses, so they've missed both of their stuns. But in this team fight, let's see what happens next. So now we get to turn the momentum because they missed their CC. So Soldier hits a nice stun on the Uther here, and we call to go for Uther, get the kill. Really nice body block, and Zuna's gonna spell him up here. But at this point, they know that they need to make a trade here, so you're gonna see Glaurung decide to go back on Zuna, and as soon as he does that, maybe a little bit of a delay there. I get the shield back on Zuna here to save him. I was more worried about getting the kill there, and then I turn around to help Zuna. So we get that shield on Zuna, which is going to save him here, and that allows Dread to get that heal off to keep him back up, and immediately have another shield up if they were to dive back on him, which I believe they do here. So the Lunar Flare misses again, but you're going to see Glaurung flip right back onto Zuna, and he's got the shield again. Pretty much every time Glaurung has, in the Illidan in this case, has decided to put pressure on our carry, we've got pre-shields every time. So they can't reliably just kill him unless they chain their CCs together perfectly. So, in my opinion, this is a pretty good example of just how annoying those shields can be. It allows us to make the trade where we actually get the Uther, but they don't get who they wanted to get in the trade. So yeah, as far as talents goes, I want to talk about that a little bit. The talents right now, the most like mainstream style of it is the Conjurer's Pursuit. Now what's cool about Conjurer's Pursuit, the way that task works right now, once you hit about the 8 to 10 minute mark, you can shield somebody constantly. Like I said, with that 5-second shield buffer and the duration being 5 seconds, you can just constantly keep it up on someone. With Conjurer's Pursuit, you have infinite mana to do that, and you can also be casting out your storms into your passive. And you really don't have to worry about mana in the late game at all. So Conjurer's Pursuit's really good there. At level 4, I think Mental Acuity is just the fact that it reduces that huge vision, whatever you call it, by 20 seconds is just ridiculous. So being able to knock that passive off multiple times in a team fight, especially with like the popularity of Tyrande and stuff right now, shadow stalking, extremely good. Level 7 is where I would say I have a little bit of a different view. Deep Shift is probably the most popular right now to synergize with the 13 and 16. Personally, I actually like the Static Charge talent at this tier still, and I like getting Archon as well. Some Tassadars right now are building the Force Wall at 10 as well. Personally, I just don't think Force Wall is as good as Archon. They did nerf Archon quite a bit, but I think with Static Charge, it still puts you can still put a lot of pressure on enemy squishies, and you stay in the front and you stay with like your bruisers who are diving, like your Illidan and your Sonya. So I think that getting the Static Charge plus Archon combo is still worth it, rather than going full Deep Shift here with the 13-16. But that one, I would say, either way you go, it's still fine. If you have 100% plenty of damage on your team, like if you're running like triple range or something, Deep Shift's fine. I mean, you don't really need to be adding more damage to your comp, so just being able to make sure you 100% can survive anything is good. But then at 10, you're going to get Archon. 13, you get the Prescience, and then at 16, Dimensional Shift, both buffing your phase shift ability. And then at 20, getting Twilight Archon. So basically what you're trying to do in team fights is constantly keep pre-shield on the target. That's going to be the priority focus, and then refreshing that shield on whoever needs it in the team fight. Meanwhile, you want to use your Archon to put pressure on their their backline squishies. You don't really want to waste Archon damage on tanks and stuff. You aren't getting much value out of it. Instead, go for like the Jaina or the Tyrande or the Vala or the KT. And if they switch to you, you've got your E's to heal up and reset positioning. And yeah, another thing to remember about Tassadar 2 with the popularization of Tyrande, and now a lot of people are taking Shadowstalk as well. Tassadar's Oracle actually completely counters Tyrande's Shadowstalk. As soon as she uses that, you pop your vision, you reveal all of them moving into you. It's very useful. So I think that's about all I wanted to say about Tassadar. I hope this sheds some light on why Tassadar has become so popular all of a sudden. And have fun shielding people in games and keeping your team alive forever. All right, guys, have a good one. Thanks for watching, and take care. Peace.
Dotted's coming through here right now, and he's just going to get hooked. So, ripperoni and pepperoni Dotted. No KO! No KO!